Hello everybody, my name is Verena and I'm a landscape painter from Germany. Today I want to take you along painting a commissioned art piece with me and painting outside on a beautiful summer day. I got asked to paint a field and forest scenery. Painting a commission is a huge honor for me, and it always makes me so thankful and proud when someone decides to choose me as an artist to paint a landscape the person really has a connection with. It fills me with pride and it also makes me a little nervous. I mean, it is my responsibility to make sure that I give my best when painting it. The problem is, I often don't know the place that I'm asked to paint because I've never been there personally. In this case, I always ask for reference pictures if it's a specific spot, and that helps me a lot. But in my opinion, it is essential to not only paint a scenery, but it is also very important to get the atmosphere and the vibe right. So, if it is possible, I visit a place in my local area that is similar to the one I am asked to paint, to decide which atmosphere I want to include in the final painting. Plus, I love to be outside, so it is a win-win situation.
Good morning. It's around 7 o'clock. I'm up since 5 o'clock and I'm here in a really beautiful field next to a forest because I wanted to take some reference pictures and just gaining some inspiration and getting the atmosphere here because I want to paint a commissioned art piece the upcoming day, and the artwork should be a field with some forest on the side, and this is the perfect place to take the reference photos and to get the atmosphere and everything. And it's so beautiful here. Wow. Maybe you can hear it, there are lots of bees, and I was here just before sunrise so I could catch it. It was magical. Wow. So I thought I could take you along to paint the commissioned art piece, and we will see how things will go, I guess.
When going on these little adventures, I don't force anything. I just enjoy being there in nature, and when I see something that inspires me, I observe it or take a reference photo with my phone to have a visual reminder when I'm painting later. In this particular case, the client asked for a landscape scene with a high stand for hunting. The painting was a present for the client's father, who is a hunter. Well, I have no clue about hunting, and I also didn't really know how a high stand looks like. And although my client provided me with a reference picture, I always like to find out how things work and get to know their function and anatomy right. So I visited a high stand and analyzed it for a few minutes. And after that little forest and field visit, I felt ready to paint. After gaining a lot of inspiration and some reference pictures, it's now time to paint. And I start with an underpainting in burnt umber, as I always do. And you can come along and watch me start this commissioned art piece. Let's go! I love the painting process at the beginning, when everything is still possible and I don't have to struggle with any painting mistakes that might occur during the whole process. I am able to just enjoy the beginning of a new painting session. Well, then comes the ugly stage. I hate everything, but I try to push through, and then I'm usually glad I pushed through and like the final outcome. Or sometimes I throw it away mid-session. Spoiler alert, I didn't throw away this piece. I pushed through like a champ. At some point I kinda lost a bit of my connection to the piece and the motivation to continue painting, which often happens to me when doing a commission, because I don't have a real connection to the place I'm painting. So another little trip to the forest was exactly what I needed.
Initially, I wanted to go for a walk yesterday, but yesterday it was like extremely hot. And I don't think I could have handled the heat very well yesterday. But today I thought I could. So I'm here in the forest, and in front of me are these beautiful fields. Some sunflower fields. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
I want to get in the mood for some atmospheric and beautiful landscapes. And what better way to get into the mood than by watching a nice romantic period drama? Netflix and paint, as I call it. Basic as I am, I opted for Pride and Prejudice because this is a movie I know by heart, and I love to just listen to movies basically while painting. So this is the perfect choice to start with. Once the underpainting is finished, I mostly start with the sky and work my way from the far background to the foreground. The more something is in the foreground, the more detailed and saturated it is, and the contrast is higher. So I like to add single flowers and leaves and try to make it interesting to the eye in the foreground. Best scene! The best scene! I took a break from working on the commission to go fishing with my boyfriend. Well, he went fishing, to be exact, and I wanted to paint a little. But first, it is time for breakfast.
Hello! It is pretty early in the morning on a Sunday, and I am with my boyfriend and his little cousin because my boyfriend is fishing right now. We're here at this beautiful small little lake, and I thought I could plein air paint a little bit, so I joined them, and it's beautiful here. I have a coffee with me, as always. Gott, ey, kriegt jemand diese Farbtube auf? Yay!
Was hast du denn auf deiner Hand?
I always remind myself to paint what I see instead of painting what I know when I look at my surroundings, while painting in nature and from life. And I try to work fast, because A, the lighting outside is changing all the time and with it the colors and shadows, and B, acrylics dry extremely fast on the palette, especially when they are exposed to warm, fresh air.
And important message, take your grey water home with you if you're painting outside, because it's damaging for the environment if you're just throw it away in the forest or on the grass or whatever. So, you're coming home with me. I'm finished. Here is the finished piece. And yeah, I learned something. I really like how I painted the reflection. I didn't love it, but it was a nice sketching slash exercise painting. So yeah, I think I'll go for a little walk through the forest now, and maybe I'll take the camera with me and give you some nice naturey impressions.
The forest is really thriving in summer. It's so green and luscious and full of spots of light and different light situations. It's very inspiring.
Isn't it beautiful? I just have to be careful because I saw a snake earlier, which seems to be quite friendly, but I'm not so keen meeting her again, so let's just be a little bit. I'm missing the word. I'm searching for the English word. Vorsichtig. Just going through the forest with quite some attention.
And then I did the last few brush strokes on the commissioned art piece. I added some flowers and some lost details. I also added a teeny tiny little deer in the far background. And then it was finished and ready to be shipped.
And here is our little friend looking out of the forest. It's finished. Yeah, I like to keep the finished painting on my easel and look at it from time to time in the next few hours, because sometimes I see little mistakes and stuff I want to correct. But for now, I think it's finished finally, and I will varnish it either in a few hours, because it's acrylic and it dries extremely fast, or tomorrow, I will see. And yeah, here it is! I'm going to pack this piece now, and before I just wanted to say thank you for watching and for sticking around until the end of the video. It really means a lot. Yeah, and what else to say? If you have any questions or any suggestions for upcoming videos, please let me know in the comments down below. And it would mean the world if you would consider subscribing to my channel, because I really enjoy filming these videos. It still takes quite a lot of time for me because I'm not used to all the camera stuff and cutting and, you know, but doing these kind of YouTube videos was an idea I had for quite some time now, and it feels great to finally be able to do it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot, and have a great day or night whenever you are watching this. Yeah, take care and bye!